A very good morning to everyone. Okay, so today we are going to continue linear correlation. We have already done so many sums of linear correlation. Now we are going to do a quick revision of Karl-Pearson product movement method. Okay, there are so many formulas in Karl-Pearson product movement method. Which formula to be applied where? We will do a quick revision and we will do some sums also. Okay, so which is the initial formula of finding linear correlation? First of all, linear correlation we denote it by small r. Linear correlation we denote it by small r, and we already know the value of r should not be less than -1 and should not be greater than 1. Yes, so value of r should not be less than -1 and should not be greater than 1. If I say the final answer I got is 2.89, is it correct?
No.
You have to understand value cannot be more than 1. So if it is more than 1, it is incorrect. Okay, fine. So the initial formula of finding the correlation, what did we learn? The initial formula was covariance xy divided by sx into sy. Okay, fine. So covariance xy divided by sx into sy. Now, how do we find covariance? To find covariance xy, the formula is summation x minus x bar y minus y bar divided by n. Is it clear? What is the formula for covariance? X minus summation x minus x bar y minus y bar divided by n. For the formula for sx will be, sx is what? Standard deviation of x. We have already learned the formula in 11th standard also, right? The standard deviation of x and the formula will be under root of summation x minus x bar the whole square divided by n, and sy will be under root of summation y minus y bar. Very good. Yes, I hope you remember the formula. Yes, this is covariance formula, this is standard deviation of x and this is standard deviation of y. Now the formula of r will be summation x minus x bar y minus y bar divided by y minus y bar the whole square. Okay, this is the formula covariance. What we write, the formula of r, covariance divided by sx into xy. The formula for covariance is summation x minus x bar into y minus y bar divided by n. Okay, and sx and sy is, sx is under root of summation x minus x bar the whole square divided by n. Similarly, y minus y bar the whole square divided by n. Okay, now when to apply this formula? There are so many formula for finding correlation. This is the first formula, but the initial formula, that is covariance divided by sx into sy, it will not change. It will remain the same. But now this formula when to use? This formula has to be used when x bar and y bar are in integers. This formula has to be used when x bar and y bar are in integers. Means if x bar and y bar is in decimal, you might be having some another formula, right? So let's see the formula when x bar and y bars is in decimal. The initial formula will remain the same only. Okay, what will be the formula? Covariance xy divided by sx into sy. Yes, let's see the covariance formula. Covariance xy will be summation xy minus n into x bar y bar divided by n, and sx will be, what will be sx? Under root of summation x square by n minus x bar square, and sy will be summation y square by n minus y bar square.
X bar y bar ऊपर सबसे पहले ऊपर summation.
Okay, so What will be the covariance formula? Summation xy minus n into x bar y bar divided by n, and Sx will be under root of summation x square by n minus x bar square. Similarly, Sy will be under root of summation y square by n minus y bar square. Is it clear? Yes. Then the formula for R will be, what will be the formula for R? N summation xy minus summation x summation y divided by under root of n summation x square minus summation x the whole square into n summation y square minus. Very good, very good. Yes. Okay. Okay, fine. So this is the formula, xy formula, and this formula will be applied when? This formula will be applied when the x bar and y bar will be in decimals and the value of observation will be small. Now you will tell, ma'am, then value of observation will be big. What formula to apply? Yes, again we have one more formula for that. When the value of observation will be large and x bar and y bar, any one of x bar or y bar or both of them are in decimals. What we have to do, we have to just replace in this formula, we have to just replace x by u and y by v, and the formula will change into R is equals to n summation uv minus summation u summation v divided by under root of n summation u square minus summation u the whole square into n summation v square minus summation v the whole square. So, if converting x into u, y into v, what is the change? The change is here the observation are large, right? And when the observation are large, we have to make them short. So, to make them short, what we will do is the formula for u will be x minus a divided by cx. What is x? X are the value of the observation. What is a? A is assumed mean. The value of x bar, if it is coming in point, what we will do? We will just round it off and we will assume it as a. While assuming a, what we have to take care? Whenever the x column is, whichever the x column is given, just go through it. Are the observations given in that? Suppose if you got 25.36. So is 25 in your x column? If it is there, you can easily take it as A. Similarly, to find B, what we have to do? Y minus B divided by Cx for finding V. Okay, B will be again assume mean, and Cx is what? Cx is the common divisor. If the number after doing minus, even then to the number is coming big, you will what you will do? You will divide it by a common divisor. Means if you are selecting 10 as the common divisor, all the number will be divided by 10. If you are selecting 100, all the number will be selected divided by 100. So in this way you can find u and you can find v. Okay, so this is already known. We have three formulas we have already learned. Which other formulas? We learned a formula when x bar and y bar is in integers. Then we have formula when x bar and y bar is in decimal, but the observation value is what? Small. And we learned a formula when x bar and y bar is in decimal, but the observation's value is large. Now we have two more formulas. We cannot say two more formulas. It is just the continuation of this formula only. Can you see here the covariance formula is summation x minus x bar into y minus y bar divided by n. Okay, in that formula, if I want to write R, can I write summation x minus x bar, y minus y bar, n is already there, right? Into, this is R and this is covariance. This is the same formula. Can you see? X minus x bar, y minus y bar divided by n. This is the same formula written over there. But here we have covariance, and if we have to find R, we have to multiply it what? Sx and Sy. So here Sx will also come and Sy will also come. Then one more thing. R is equals to, can you see over here we have summation xy minus n into x bar y bar divided by n. This is the formula of covariance. But if we have to change this formula and we have to write the formula for R, we have to write summation xy minus n into x bar y bar y bar divided by n. This is only covariance. We are writing, what we are writing? We are writing R. So Sx and Sy will also come. It is the same formula, just we are doing the extension. What is it? It will be multiplied by Sx and Sy. Now, when will we apply these two formulas? So these two formulas will be specially applied in this formula, will specially be applied in short sums. Okay, so clear? Two more formulas. This is a quick recap of Karl-Pearson's formula. These are the only formulas that is applied in Karl-Pearson method. Okay, two more formulas. Which is the first one? X minus x bar into y minus y bar divided by n into Sx into Sy. And one more formula, summation xy minus n into x bar y bar divided by n into Sx Sy. Is it clear to everyone? If these formulas are clear, we can easily do the short sums. Yes, moving forward. Let's see the sum.
Yes.
Okay, the sum, the question which is given is, can you see x minus x bar into y minus y bar is given, x minus x bar the whole square, y minus y bar the whole square is given, and you have to find the value of r. Whenever this type of sum is given, what you have to write? First write the given thing. While solving the short sums, one thing that you have to keep in mind is what is given, and on the basis of that you have to apply the formula. Now you will think if x bar is in point or if x bar is in decimal, that formula will be applied. No, in short sums, whatever is given to you, on the basis of that only the formula will be applied. This, when you see this question, can you clearly understand the sum is what? Which formula will be applied? The first one, when x bar and y bar will be in integers. What is the formula? R is equals to summation x minus x bar y minus y bar divided by under root of summation x minus x bar the whole square into summation y minus y bar the whole square. Now the thing is, do we have all this? X minus x bar into y minus y bar. Do we have x minus x bar into y minus y bar? Yes. What is it? It is 120. Then do we have summation x minus x bar the whole square? Yes, we have. What is it? 80. So root of 80. Then do we have y minus y bar the whole square? Yes, we have summation y minus y bar the whole square, and that is 500. So you have to take the root of this. Okay, 120 will be divided by root of 80. The root of 80 will be 8.94. Okay, and it will be multiplied by root of 500. 500 root will be 22.36. Okay, next step will be 120 will be divided by 120 will be divided by, you have to multiply both of them. 8.94 will be multiplied by 22.36. What will be?
199.89.
Yes, 199.89. It will be divided by, and the final answer will be 0.6. It is 0.6. Is the value greater than 1? Is the value less than minus 1? No. It is clear we are going on the right path, right? The value cannot be less than minus 1. The value cannot be more than 1. Is it clear? The sum was very easy. Everything was given. Just formula has to be applied. Is it clear? Yes. The next sum. You are given covariance xy and you are given sx, you are given sy. Do you remember the initial formula of R? What is the initial formula of R? Covariance xy divided by sx into sy. Covariance is given to you minus 50. Then sx is given to you 15 into 8. So minus 50 will be divided by 120 and the final answer will be 0.4. This was very simple. The initial formula. What is the initial formula? Covariance divided by sx into sy. Everything was ready-madely given to you. Easy. Shall we move forward? Yes. Okay. Let's see. What is given to us? N is given to us. X minus x bar, y minus y bar is given. Variance is given. Okay, variance is given. Till now what we learned? We have just seen standard deviation. But I have repeatedly been telling you what is the relation between variance and standard deviation. Variance is standard deviation square, and this you have to fit in your mind that variance is standard deviation square. So the variance of 25 means standard deviation will be root of 25, that is 5. Here root of 36, that is 6. Is it clear? So now we got Sx. This is what? Sx, and this is what? And this is Sy. Now we have x minus x bar, y minus y bar. We have Sx, we have Sy. Do you remember the first formula that was summation x minus x bar, y minus y bar divided by n? That was covariance formula, and we applied it for R. The formula was summation x minus x bar, y minus y bar. N will come but will be divided by into Sx and into Sy. So 60 will be divided by 10 into 5 into 6. Therefore 60 will be multiplied by divided by 300. So the answer is 0.2. Okay, cleared everyone? Only the one different thing was given over here was variance. Whenever variance is given, you have to remember variance is standard deviation square. If variance is given to find standard deviation, we have to take root of it, right? So root of 25 will be 5, root of 36 will be 6. So we got Sx, we got Sy, and we applied the formula. Is it clear to everyone? Yes, fine. Yes, moving further, n is given to you, summation xy is given to you, mean of x is given, mean of y is given, Sx is given. Mean of x means what? X bar. Mean of y means what? Standard deviation of x means Sx, and this is Sy. Okay, so which formula will be applied? Do you remember I told one formula which will be used only for the short sums? Yes, which was having x bar, y bar also, and which was having summation x, summation y also. What was the formula? Summation xy minus n into x bar, y bar divided by n into Sx into Sy. Yes. Do we have summation xy? Yes, we have summation xy as 1500 minus n will be multiplied by Sx, n will be multiplied by x bar, that is 12, and y bar is 15, and will be divided by 10 into 9 into 5. Okay, 1500 minus 10 into 12 into 15 is 1800, and it will be divided by 450. Okay, so we have minus 300 that will be divided by 450, and the final answer will be minus 0.67. Okay, again, is it less than minus 1? No, na? Okay, so the answer is minus 0.67. The formula applied is, understood the formula, summation xy minus n into x bar, y bar divided by n into Sx, Sy. Is it clear to everyone? Yes? Okay, fine. Okay. N is equals to 6, summation x is equals to 58, summation y, summation xy, summation x square, summation y square. Find R. Very easy. Which formula to be applied? When x bar and y bar will be in decimal and observation value will be small. What was the formula? N summation xy minus summation x summation y divided by under root of n summation x square minus summation x the whole square into we have to just put the values because already all the values are given to you. Chalo. Yes. What is n? N is 6. So 6 into summation xy is 431 minus summation x, summation y, it is 58 will be multiplied by 40. Okay. Under root of 6 into summation x square. Summation x square is what? 606 minus summation x the whole square. Summation x the whole square means 58 square into n means 6 into summation y square is 316 minus summation y, that is 40 square. Okay, it is easy calculation. You have to just do the calculation. All the values were given to you. You have to just put the values and do the calculation. Is it clear to everyone? Okay, moving forward. Okay, I really hope you understood all the formulas.
Yeah.
And everyone remembers the formula, right? Okay, so meet you in the next class. Thank you.